Welcome to Endgame Club. This is Saturday of there's UpandComer. Uh, Saturday of week number 1 rated tournaments, and we are up to round 6. Um, Quick look at the standings. My Mass is still holding on with a double in round 2 and 4 pars. Excuse me, 4 pars. Yeah, so he's still at +2 and the lead. Neo Aussie and UpandComer at +1 chasing. France is at par, and Synchro Swim joins the tournament a couple rounds ago and now at par. So we'll see how it goes. We got 3 more rounds here, 6, 7, 8, and Cherysevsky. And I have white against UpandComer, so there we go. Oh, cool. So this is one of my favorite things. This is Lasker versus Lasker. There's an unusual pairing. So here, let's get a new page here. Round 6. Lasker versus Lasker. If you don't know, the great world champion Emmanuel Lasker, who was champion forever from 1894 to 1921 until he was beaten by Capablanca. He had a cousin, though, Edward Lasker, who was a very strong player, a master, not quite a world champion contender. But they had this interesting position. I think this is from a New York tournament in the 1920s. And tough. And this is also the one asterisk on the par front. This is a tough position for both sides to play, like most of this stuff maybe in Cherysevsky. But also, this is not an easy par. This is in fact a drawn position. But it's not an easy one. Alright, so what are we going to do? Anyway, let me concentrate. Okay, pawn, pawn, pawn. So white's got 2 huge passed pawns over here. On the other hand, you see the huge imbalance. White has a knight versus a rook. So that rook is fast. Not only is it just a better piece in general, it is fast, which is nice in the endgame. Kind of like a bishop versus knight imbalance. King position is not great. I'd like to stop him from playing king d6. Black has pawns on the queen side. They're dangerous, but they're not quite as far advanced yet. So I think the natural seeming plan would be for white to push his pawns and to push them as fast as I can. I'd like to play f5 and then maybe have my knight do something, but I'd really like to block out that. So the black king, if the black king does not get into this area, I'm gonna win, right? My knight and king, my knight and king can protect these pawns, and that rook cannot stop everything. So the only way to stop white's pawns is the combined action of king and rook. But it's also very dangerous, because if it doesn't work, white attack does not work, black may have an extra move or something, he grabs the b4 pawn, and suddenly I'm losing. So it's very tricky. Anyway, a very specific concrete thing. If I play king e5, he plays rook check, and I just lose the game instantly. Pretty sure, because king d4 rook check loses my knight, king f6, king takes the knight. So if I play king e5, I'm losing my knight. So that's out. Either one of these pawn moves seems generally reasonable, but then I've got to realize he's going to be able to move his king over, so that's not good for me. Not good at all. Still, gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. Let's go ahead. No, I definitely can't move my king now. I got knight e3. Now if he checks from the side, I've got knight f4, so I think that is my knight is safe. So there's a tough situation for UpandComer. Also, the two pawns together is nice and flexible. Of course, rook g1, I'm pretty much forced to play pawn to g6, and then they're a little less flexible. But, okay.
Check.
Okay, so that forces, it seems to force. Gotta be forced, right?
Time warning.
So I'm trying to not let that black king do very much here. This is very tricky though.
Check. Check.
Oh no!
Check. Check.
Yeah. We're in trouble, folks.
Check.
Nice. Okay. So,
Check.
to analyze that a little more later, but stop it. Tricky situation. The plan with pawn to b2 is going to allow me a fork. I was going to get a fork.
Check.
That does not work though.
Check.
And that is thematic, by the way. So Alekhine had a way of playing this for black to achieve a draw, and part of the idea was that the rook could cut off both the king and the knight, which creates a lot of counterplay, right? And then this b pawn. So great play by UpandComer, and thanks for watching the video. And that's a strike against